All right, guys. Good morning. Yeah, that's strange, Eric. Eric, I'm reading your message now. Oh, sorry. There's an echo. There's two echoes. That's better. All right. Yeah, I'm reading what Eric said. Eric said, "Found something strange yesterday. If my monitors go to sleep while trading, if there are shares typed into the order window, it executes them when I spacebar to wake up the monitors." Yeah, man, that's the universe willing trades into existence. Maybe it's a good thing, man. What's up, Matthew, Eric, Bill, Sean, D and W, Crown, Pun, Kid, Matthew, Netron. What's up, guys? Good morning. Yeah, honestly, today's not looking that bad. We have WATT looks pretty good. Um, it's still a little extended from yesterday, I think. I mean, this one gapped up from 441. The daily chart still looks pretty weak, but I'm looking for this one to give some of it back. I think it'll probably come back down. I was waiting for this pullback yesterday, and we'll see what we get with this one today. It could run. It could continue to fall. I think it's going to fill a lot of this gap, and so we'll see what we get. Also, looking at APHA, a lot of volume. Mitch said that the news with this one was a hostile takeover or attempted hostile takeover for this company, right? And so we'll have to look that one up in a second. But a lot of volume, a lot of movement. Let's see where it's at now. It is right. The reason this one looks interesting is because this one is right at this support level. Like, look, if I draw this line over, it's right at that level. So we'll see if it can hold that level, if it pushes up, what it does right now. I think it'll probably fill some of the gap, but it could very easily run. You never really know. And so we'll see what we get with this one as well. Also looking at AMD, gapping up a small amount. NIO. OPK is gapping up some. OPK gapping up from 253 to 295. Not the most volume, but the gap up looks okay. Probably earnings, I'm guessing, but who knows. What was the other one I saw this morning? ABIL. It's not tradable for us, but it's gapping up some. QTM gapping up some. A&W had some volume before the close. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, we also have NBEV, Cron. So we got a few to watch, but overall it doesn't look bad with APHA and WATT. A lot of volume with those two. Yeah, WATT definitely overextended in my opinion. We'll see what we get, but it definitely... I look at it and think it's overextended. Even though, I mean, the daily chart's been dropping for a while now. And so since April, this thing has just been dropping. And then it finally gapped up some and it pulled back already. It's just about whether it's going to come back down here to 460s. I think it probably will, but who knows? Didn't this one have a deal with somebody? Right, this one had a deal with somebody. I can't remember who. What's up, Casey Mack? Joe Stock Trader. Good morning, man. What's up, SEK? Good morning. I mean, these just aren't really my style. HOOP and KKR. They're just not really my style. Excuse me, my voice is giving out. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, these just really. Hold on. All right, that's much better. I had to catch my voice. I don't know what was going on with it. Voice felt like it was going out. Yeah, so looking at I mean HOPE, and KKR, they're just not really my style. The reason they're not really my style is because there's not a lot of movement in pre-market. They had some volume yesterday, but not a lot. And I just look for a little bit higher volume overall than what these are showing. So, like I said, I'm kind of looking at WATT and APHA. They have a lot of volume. Looking for a second day move with WATT. A lot of times these give it back on the second day, and so that's what I'm looking at for this one. We'll see what we get. Joe Stock Trader said, "How do you check to see if shorts are available?" Um, yeah, exactly what Sean said. Um, exactly what Sean said. It just depends. With my broker, anything that's tradable, like anything I can trade, I can short, and so it's just about whether I can trade it. Which WATT I can trade, APHA I can trade, NIO, AMD both I can trade, CGC, OPK I probably can't. Let me see. No, can't trade OPK. Can trade Cron, NBEV, and ACB. So everything I can trade is on my list except for two, which were ADIL. What? Oh no, that's ABIL. Yeah, that sucks. I got kind of excited, but it was actually ADIL I could trade. And it's not really moving much. But yeah, two stocks I can't trade that I want to trade are ABIL and OPK. But aside from that, I can trade everything else. So I can short everything else except for those two. I don't know, man. We'll see what the market gives us today. Very interesting market right now. We have some volatility for sure. Like if you look at the SPY, I was kind of like resigned to it being a red day yesterday. I was just kind of accepting that it may be another red day yesterday in the market. But right before the close, let's see, when is this? Yeah, at like 3 o'clock, at like 3 o'clock market time, the SPY and everything else. It's not just the SPY, it's everything else. Like the SPY started to run up pretty big here, but it's everything else. It's AMD, 4 o'clock hits, boom, this thing starts to run. MU, any major stock that follows the market relatively well. Tiva should have done the same thing. Yeah, Tiva did the same thing, and so I actually ended up having, with my Tiva trade yesterday, I actually ended up taking back the loss I had on the day. Like what I did with my Tiva trade is I got in short here. I got in short. Let's see. I think I got in short here actually. And then I sold a partial. I added that size back right here. And then I sold another partial. And then I got out right here. So I ended up making my loss back on the day. I think I ended the day down $1 yesterday, and so yesterday was basically break even after that. But yeah, I was kind of resigned to it being just a red day overall. All right, that means you're here, Mitch. Yeah, there you are. All right. All right, guys, we should have Mitch here, I believe. Yo, what's up, man?
Yo.
What's up, brother? All
Yeah, I
right.
got the volume turned up.
All right, cool. All right,
All
guys, we
right.
got Mitch here. Yeah, market's looking good, dude. APHA, WATT, all the other stuff too. Volume's not looking bad.
Yep, just expecting that hard bounce in the SPY. I've been watching this, calling it out every day. The SPY is going back to that 260. At least going to make an attempt, see if it can get back up there, see if it can get above that level. I think it's going to have trouble to get above that level and going to turn back around and head towards those 230s.
Yep.
I think we're really in danger, at least for the time being.
I don't know. You see the rebound yesterday?
I mean, that's normal, bro.
I know it's a pullback, is what it is. It's the
Yeah.
bearish equivalent of a pullback,
I
or
mean, look at the red days down. You
yeah,
got to
dude.
come back sometime.
Right. I mean, this thing had. Let's see. Let's
But it's
count.
not it's not it's in no sense actually coming back right now.
This
The
thing had.
only thing it's doing is just bouncing.
The spy
It's
had.
just like the VWAP fade.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all that's happening right now.
The spy had 10 red days in a row, starting on the 11th. Every market day after the 11th, all the way up to the 24th, was red, every single day. So kind of rough here. Yeah. So the way Sean described it is that if it says HTB, it's hard to borrow, or ETB is easy to borrow. Um, it that means like if it's HTB, you're gonna actually have to pay for shares to short. Like you're gonna have to take you're not gonna have to pay it out of pocket really. You're gonna have to pay it for like if you get in that trade, they're gonna take a bigger percentage most of the time, right? And easy to borrow. It's not as bad. They might still charge you some or whatever the process is. It all depends on the broker who you're getting the shares from. But let's just say hard to borrow stocks are harder to borrow. You're gonna have to pay more. You might have to wait some time for you to get your shares to short, and it's just gonna be a big pain to do it. That's one of the reasons I like TAFs is because anything that's tradable I can short. Anything that says a Y next to tradable, I can short the heck out of it and be fine. Not have to wait for it to borrow, not have to pay more to short it. And so it all just depends, on what you're looking for. That's why I like TAFs is because as a short trader, it makes it really easy to short all these stocks. PURA, John. But yeah, big rebound. What made the stocks rebound like this though yesterday? You see how that happened? Like at
The
about four
spy,
o'clock.
just the spy, man. It's just what has to happen. Um, I don't know how to better explain that, but just extended levels on the way down have to retrace. Eventually, it has to retrace at least a little bit. We're not saying that it's going to go back all the way up to where they were, but definitely what you're just seeing is kind of a retrace of levels in the SPY. Um, if you look back and use historical data, I've been looking a lot into 2009, 2008, kind of the last time we tanked like this, and kind of using that as a measure of what should come. We got one really bad week, followed by a big washout in 2008. Then we had a bounce, it held resistance, and the following washout was twice as bad. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right now in the SPY. Looking for it to see if it's going to hold a resistance that was a support. That's where we get that 260 price. And you guys are going to see it. It's going to head towards that 260. It's going to either get above that and start holding and making its levels back, or it's going to reject and it's going to get right back down to where it was in the 240s down to the 230s.
Right. I feel like Brian is probably right. I feel like people's pensions already got hit, kind of, but I think you're right.
Yep. Isaiah, yeah, definitely. If you look in the back, if you look at the SPY and you start looking like on like a weekly chart, you can go back enough to where you can kind of see the last time we did a drop like this. Last time we did a drop like this was in 2008. We got a really bad washout. It came back to the resistance and then crashed some more. That's what we're going to look for. Another thing is if it can get back above those 260s, the SPY can recover. And so we're going to see if it's going to reject those 260s, get right back down, and head down to those 230s.
So yeah, so with APHA, it says that somebody attempted a hostile takeover at 2.1 billion, which they said. Um, so let's see. It was the Scotten. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. The Scottenstein family.
Oh, having fun?
Yeah, the Scottenstein family, they're owners of a sprawling retail empire. They put bids in for Aphria, which is a Canadian cannabis company, at 2.1 billion. APHA came back and said that that was significantly undervalued. Um,
Who has $1 billion and lives in Ohio?
I don't know, man. The Scottensteins, the Scottensteins,
I don't understand that one.
Charles
No offense
Wellington,
to anybody that lives in Ohio, but if you have $1 billion, that's where you choose to live?
Charles Wellington the Third. You know, I don't know,
God
man.
bless him.
I don't know.
You must have a lot of family there. All right, so let's see what they tried to do and exactly how much do they have right now.
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
I'm kind of looking into how much shares they already own. I'm sure they've already owned
A
a good
lot.
portion of it,
Yeah.
and so that's why they're trying to do this hostage takeover. You
Right.
you get enough shares, you get 51% of the company
You got
or
a
the
majority.
majority. Next thing you know, you can change the board members and you
Right.
can make the company essentially your own.
Right.
Um, you know, uh, Altria did this with Kron, but it kind of did an actual purchase. But they did the same thing to take over. They removed board members. They put some of their own, and they're going to go ahead and try to make kind of a potential company become a real bona fide revenue producing company.
Right. Have you ever seen the show Silicon Valley? Uh, it's a comedy, but it actually depicts this type of stuff fairly well. Where you get those two, you get more board seats than anybody else, and that's your company now. You know what I mean? And so it's just about removing the board members, which apparently they're trying. I don't see anything else about it. It just talks about the bid of 2.1 billion. Obviously, APHA says it's undervalued. Um,
Okay. All right. So I'm reading a little bit more into here, finding a little bit more about this, and so what's going on is they're essentially trying to go through green growth brands. Um, kind of what they're trying to do is do a takeover for $11 a share. So $11 a share. We can obviously look at the price right now at APHA and know that $11 is going to be a pretty
right,
good premium,
right,
yeah, to pay for this stock. Stocks closed at 557. They jumped more than 18% after hours. What we're going to do is we're going to see if this $7 is going to break out. It tried to break out over $7 a couple times in the aftermarket, wicked over 2 or 3 times. And at the last little hoorah there at, let's see what we got, 5, 6, around 7 p.m. 688 turned over, and it couldn't get above that 7. Now we're kind of in this kind of little bearish pattern. We've had a down pull, a bounce, down pull, and now I'm really going to be looking to see if it can get back above that 650. Above that 650, it can really start getting that momentum back to the sevens. This stock with this news definitely is a little bit more bullish, um,
So
and this
wait,
kind of sentiment.
see if you could explain something. Green, the company they're doing the hostile takeover through, is putting in an offer for 2.1 billion, which would value this stock at $11. You said,
Yeah,
but
it
the
said that
company
it
comes up.
offered it offered 1.57 shares of its own stock for each of APHA's shares, which would value APHA at $11 a share.
Right. So why would the current owners of APHA come out and say that that's significantly undervalued. I mean, if it's half the price of the current stock, if it's 2 times the price that the stock is currently at, are they just kind of fluffing it up like, oh, that's undervalued because they know like they're getting a good deal, they want to pump up their stock? Or like, what's the point of that?
It's a premium. Okay, so you always want to sell your stock for a premium. Whenever you're selling equity, you kind of have kind of speculation on your side to help you. It's kind of future revenue. They're using their future revenue predictions to tell them that my company's valued at this much. And so what's going on here is that at least from their revenue, they can see themselves making in the future more than that $11 a share. And so it's going to be a matter of how much they're willing to pay and how much premium they're willing to get. Another thing is, no one's saying that you have to take it for a 20 or 30% premium.
Right.
And that's what's going on here, is that you don't have to give up the shares, especially if someone's trying to do a takeover like they're doing here. It's going to be interesting. I definitely think that the wheat stocks kind of need that one more stock to really get bought up. Once that other stock gets bought up with Kronos and APHA now looking like it's going to get bought up, that can really juice up the sector again and get it moving again. That's what I'm kind of looking at. Definitely not seeing the weed sector going away anytime soon. With a bunch of these stocks having great revenue potential, a bunch of interested buyers are going to step up. Another one is ACB. And I don't know if you've ever heard this one, John, CNTTF, I think it is, CNTTF. Yeah, it's Canny Trust Holdings. This trades on the OTC market, but it's another one that they're looking at for a potential buyout. So from what I'm reading right now, Green Growth already has about 10% of APHA shares. Right, we got 912 here. Looking at MBEV, APHA. I'm going to look at kind of what the SPY does overall.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, my son was yelling at me.
Are you good, bro?
What's up, outsiders? All right, so yeah, but the market doesn't look bad. I mean, some stuff's starting to give it back. You can see WATT starting to drop. It's actually gapping down now in pre-market, down to 670, which is pretty good for this. I mean, I was thinking it was probably going to give some of these gains back. It's just about where it continues, you know. The biggest problem I see with buying options is that nobody wants to give you a reasonable price, right? Like if this stock's at $10, if this stock's at $10.60, I think a reasonable option if this stock is at like $10 or $9.60 would be like $7 would be a reasonable option for this one. When it was up here, but they didn't have any for $7. Like all their options are like down at like $5, and it's like, yeah, like I think it'll drop. Do I think it's going to completely come all the way back down to $5? I don't know. Much less likely, and I think that's the point. What's up, Rommel? Good morning, man. He was talking about APHA. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was asking about the other ones. The other two I mentioned, ACB and CNTTF. CNTTF
OTC.
is on the OTC market,
Yeah.
but it's a good trade. It's one of those that I've seen fades. There's certain moments that I've looked at this stock even for kind of a long term hold. Um, CNTTF has a great production ability. They have one of the best setting themselves up for production. So they just need to kind of turn that into revenue, and their company should get a good lift.
But you know which one I traded yesterday was your baby TEVA.
Yeah, I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised. I kind of got away from her just because look at that daily chart. I mean, I was like, when is she gonna turn away from me?
Right. Yeah, but no. What I did was like, if you look at here at the chart, like I got in at let's see, at about 11:30 market time. I got in. Maybe that's not 11:30 market time. Let me see. Yeah, that is 11:30 market time.
Man, this is one that as soon as I saw it up there in the 24s, I already knew. I was like, it's only a matter of time. This stock used to be in the 15s and, was pretty weak, but it just kind of gave away, breaks those major supports,
Yep. Yeah, man.
key levels. Once
It
it broke
dropped.
21, it just goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, it dropped nice for me, really. Like I got in, sold a partial at the low. It pulled back to the VWAP. I added sizing back. It dropped it back down to the low. I sold another partial, and then it pushed up some, and I just ended up getting out of it. I missed out on some gains, but I was able to take back the loss from yesterday and be break even. So, but yeah, man, I managed it well. Needed to use bigger sizing though. Yeah,
So
APHA.
overall, I definitely feel more positive sentiment for the weed industry today. Potential news always creates potential investors.
Hype.
People they buy the hype,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Let's see what the news for WATT is as well. I'm curious to see why it did what it did. Let me see.
Yeah, that ADIL and that ABIL will get you real quick. You're like, what? What? No. Oh
I
no.
know. I
That
know.
one.
I was excited because I saw a DIL was tradable. ADIL, and then I realized that that wasn't the one that was gapping this morning. It was actually a BIL.
QTM. Too bad we can't trade it, but not too bad. Let's see what this looks. See what this looks like.
Is that Marley's music playing?
Oh, you already know it. You can hear just the subtle
Right.
subtleness in the background. All right, let me tell Alexa to shut up.
Yeah. There you go. All right, so yeah, WATT was up on. I think I looked this one up yesterday, but it's on FCC approval of their hearing device, and so we'll see how strong that news really is. Yeah, ABIL doesn't look bad. It's not tradable, unfortunately, for me. But I was watching it this morning. Interesting level. You know, this pre-market highs tested numerous times at about 260 here, and so watching that level, probably this 235 level as well, and then in the middle at 250. I think those three levels look interesting to watch. See how this one plays out if it breaks above or under the high and low of those. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it does too. Hmm. For APHA, I'm kind of watching 6, see if it holds over 6. It looks like you said, it has that little trend line. I can see the trend line.
Yeah. Let's see if it breaks down through six or comes back to that 650. That 650 is going to be a like a candle. I feel like when it gets hit.
Yeah, for sure. It's got some definitely has some support there too, and
Yeah,
resistance.
once it rips through that, I'll see the 660s. This is one of those days where, at least from my pre-market assessment, it looks more long than short. So this is one of those days that I got to be careful. Don't want to fight the trend,
Right.
especially if we're going to short. We got to look at everything. If everything is going up, there's no reason to just try to find a short. That's a lot of times when you make mistakes. Can't
Force it.
find the trades. Yeah, let the trades find you. Let the charts speak to you, and kind of
Yeah.
let your strategy actually come up to actually happening versus
Right.
you see
Well,
those 625s just get bought up right there on APHA.
yep.
Look at all that sizing going through there. 4,000, 3,000, 5,000, 4,000,
That's
all
a big
from
level
one
too.
order.
That's a big level too. Like if you look at the chart, like right where I drew this, it has a lot of basically a lot of support and resistance there. If you look at the daily chart, that 628 level is like a big level,
Oh,
you know. And
yeah,
so
huge level right now. So if you see it kind of break out through this level and then consistent big buying being purchased up there,
look at all the
this is what we
sales.
call bag holders. They're noticing that the stock is finding a bottom. If they know that that's the bottom, they can use that as their risk and essentially just load up, load up, load up, load up, load up, and have a really, really tight risk.
Right. I'll be right back.
Because the move up is all the way up there to guys to $7 and maybe above that. Here's the 29s. You look for that low volume, look for that big volume to follow. There's the low volume, big volume afterwards. 2,500 shares stepping up there at 629. There you go, another 2,500 shares at 628. That's the kind of orders that you want to be looking for so that you can take advantage of this stock. ABIL ripping. Yeah, I wish I could trade that one. That's one that I actually seen in the past make a huge move. MRIN. That's another one to look at. I'm going to see if this can come down and break six today. All right, guys. 9:23.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, my wife is telling my son to turn his Sonic stuff down. Sheesh.
Yep, lots of volume accumulating in the 25s and 27s there for APHA. Going to be an important level to watch. Oh, man, tired, not feeling the best. Oh, it's going to be a rough weekend. Oh, the trade on Tuesday. The trade on Tuesday went well. No, it wasn't this Tuesday. It was when was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. There you go. Yeah, it went well. I was able to close it. I had to get on out of here. Wish I could have held it a little bit further. I ended up closing it in the 50s. It went down about 12 cents more and then rebounded. I wanted to take about probably 6 of those cents.
All
So,
right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's relatively small difference. So,
Yeah, my son played Sonic music too loud upstairs. Like really loud.
hey, Jono, birthday tomorrow. There you go, man. Enjoy it.
Hey man, happy early birthday, brother. Can you get a shout out to your daughter Adele? Good morning, Adele.
Adele. Adele, sing to us.
Don't do it. Today I'm going MRIN UGAZ.
UGAZ. Isn't
UGAZ
that like an
ETF.
ETF or
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of what kind of ETF. I think maybe it might be an oil ETF. I know Casey probably knows because Casey trades this one in DGAZ. Okay, actually it looks like it's a volatility 3 times ETF. Wait, let me see.
on
Maybe
what?
it's a gas.
Oh, natural gas.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is. It's a 3 times natural gas ETF.
Yeah, oil plays, gas plays, gold plays, commodities. Um, Very different trading. Um, I'd be interested in learning more about it, but I'm thinking I'm gonna expand more into getting back to learning some more of my options plays. I know I like using strategies called like iron condors and straddles, um, especially with the market come bringing that volatility.
Look at ABIL.
Yep. And what happened there? Whoa. Oh, whole bunch of volume stepping on up.
Yeah,
25s, 27, 28, 29. Oh, I think people are stepping on up.
yep. So you're gonna be the big 51, John.
We know where the bag holders are, guys. That's what I can at least tell you guys. If you see those 625s just flush on through downwards, you're gonna see the bag holders just be like sell, 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 sell. But if we see it rip up there through 650 at the open, watch how you see the volume just jump in there because they already got that kind of that push to start, that kind of average that they're already in. They're more than willing to take another sizing into it and get that risk to reward. In this case, it could be as small as, let's say, 10 cents on the risk side, and you're looking for a nice 70-cent gain.
All right, so yeah, the news for ABIL is they announced 2 founders and officers and directors of the company have entered into an agreement with the company pursuant to which the amount outstanding under the company's line of credit, which is approximately 1.5 million, is secured with funds, will be repaid and converted into equity. So a repaid line of credit or balance from 2 people that work there is what that sounds like.
We'll also be watching UXIN, guys. UXIN missed that play yesterday. Did a beautiful fade. Gave you an opportunity to get back in it also. You could have got in it in the 27s and made moves to 7 2 or 3 times.
It did have a nice fade there.
Yep. It's already washing out, which is something I don't like to see, but we'll see if it can make a bounce back and then a wash out again.
All right, guys, we got 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
All right, guys, just let the stocks work. Know your strategy and work to your strengths.
Yep. Let's do it. Good luck to you all as well. Let's hopefully today will be a good day.
Look at all that shares.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't trade ABIO. Sucks, but
Yeah.
here's what it is. There's the bell. See what the SPY's doing. SPY's up. Well, kind of. SPY's about break even in pre-market. All right, we got AMD dropping. We have WATT dropping. We have NIO pushing up. Everything else kind of undecided. Let me get the intraday scans up today, guys. Hold on one second. I'll get those up.
There, those 25s can hit on APHA. You got bought up. Some down there, some bag holders got caught there. See a bigger washout here.
All right. Yeah, look at APHA crash a little bit.
It's so funny. Look at that 617, 20,000 shares sold.
I mean, I would say 626 looks good, but it's reasonably only about a 1-to-1 trade. So
Yeah, it's still too early. It needs to get down there. Down to 6 first.
WATT bounced back here. It's testing 7. What's up, James? AMD's looking better.
Oof. MU went down pretty hard there. Looking at MU.
TIVA's dropping with it. I like TIVA because it has a risk area that's pretty tight of about 58 or so. It's about a 14-cent risk. Reward level's all the way down to like 20 right now, so it looks promising. Same thing with APHA, really. If APHA gets up to 22, it's still got a risk level of about 35 or so. So about a 13-cent risk.
APHA now down there to that 6 point. Now it's looking better at 620.
Yep.
620, it would be off of.
This is when I don't like fades when they have down wicks like this, though. Like whenever I see a big down wick like that, and then it moves back up.
Those are bag holders.
Yeah.
MU looking interesting. MBEV also interesting. APHA getting up there to that price.
Well, a lot of stuff's heading down right now. CGC, all the cannabis stocks are down, including NBEV. TIVA's down. SPY's down.
Yeah, I wanted to see the SPY.
Look at APHA. I mean,
I literally have my order right there. I don't know though.
It's
not a bad risk to reward. Yeah, if you got in there in the 20s, kind of missed it already. Maybe. I didn't even hit the 20s. All right, so I wouldn't have got filled at least because I had an order out at 20, ready to go.
It was quick.
I mean, definitely could have taken an entry there, but
it's back up there. I don't know how much I like it with that down wick though. It's kind of what I look for, which is a lot
of volume at that 615 on the bid side.
And it's just like I said, like this one with the news with the hostile takeover, I don't know. I do like that triple top. 620 is a very major support and resistance area now, based off of pre-market levels and 3 tests during intraday. Maybe it was good, man. Maybe, honestly, I'm being a little bit more selective right now because typically, like, what I've noticed about my trading, at least in the last 2 weeks, is that I've had substantially better results on my second trade, which is a little bit later on. Like, if you think about how my trading's been, it's usually have like one losing trade within the first 5-10 minutes, and then within the next 30 minutes, I have one winning trade to kind of even itself out and be break even. You could have taken profits here though, but
looking for anything above 5 for ACB or 5 19s for MBEV.
Yeah, there's also Cron 1036, CGC 2696. Right. Hey, that's a good one, man. That's a good one, Adels. Hate weekends, love Mondays. Ugh, APHA, man, it sucks, because
Hey, you didn't take it. You didn't take it.
Yeah.
That's why I got off of it. I decided I wasn't going to take it. I got to let it go.
Yeah, and I'm looking at...
Now that one's nice.
Which one?
UXIN. Just the spread was a little bit open at the top there, but man.
I mean, that was the move for APHA. I'm also looking at AMD, but now the risk reward just isn't as good. Like, that's what, like, I was mainly watching AMD, and I mean, I could essentially still use 1147 as risk, but if I'm going to use 1147, I might as well let it test 1150. And that's just not giving me the risk reward I need. There's a lot of drops right now in the market, though, so we should get a few fades at least. Like, we should get some more fades coming through here. One of the tighter risk reward ones is Cron. From 36 to 45, 9-cent risk, and then from 35 down to about 16. And so that's about a 20-cent reward, so not bad. See, because if you look at AMD, I mean, it's up there. And I mean, I guess you could use like a 37 risk for AMD, which would be like super tight. I don't hate that. It may be a little late now. But I just think the accuracy is going to be down.
Didn't bounce there for Cron. Didn't bounce there for pretty much that APHA.
I mean, look at AMD. I mean, AMD's up there. Like I said, though, like risk in this case would have to be at like 47, which makes me not like it as much because you might as well just use 1750 if it's up there. And, the only other resistance level.
Any moving, guys. ANY. Any making a little lift there. Yep, hard move to the down from the SPY, rejecting to get up there.
Yeah, there goes AMD. Exactly like I said. You could use 47 still, but time's up for that one. APHA would have followed through really nice. Went right down to that 590. And this is exactly why we trade the way we do. Just looking at it, like we take profits here at the previous low of the day.
MU is interesting. The risk would have to be off of 85. You're going to give it another chance to get to that 85 first and then look for that, what we call that confirmation, kind of that move we've been looking at, John, where it touches the resistance and then comes breaking back down.
Which one? Sorry.
MU.
Yeah, AMD's bouncing, so it might be a big washout long, like a bigger... I'm looking at Cron, though. If Cron gets up to 34, 45 risk, about 10 cents or so. Yeah, there's AMD. This is a good reason. I'm glad I didn't get into it. That's what I said, though. Get some reboundings. Tiva. Tiva is
At
just
T, it's getting
T,
there.
it's just weird to set risk though. Like you could do 73, I guess, but it didn't really confirm that area much. And so looking at the previous chart, I'd have to go back in time a little bit for Tiva. Let me see if I have enough time to do that and see if I can find a reasonable resistance above. Oh wait, there's some. Let me see. There's just no defined risk really here. It's too choppy in pre-market. The previous day it wasn't there. Let's go back a little bit more. Here's one. There's 175. All right, that doesn't look bad. 75 risk, but
All right, Kron getting up there.
CGC2. We got to be careful though. I mean, with the market rebounding, I think a lot of this is following the overall market. AMD just big washout long there. Stomach's growling. NIO with a really obvious 50% risk, 650. Yeah, there's Kron.
Yeah, where's APHA? Overall market's still down.
Right, but everything's rebounding with the SPY right now. And so it's just about whether the SPY stays in this downward trend under the VWAP and what happens with it if
We
it
get a
does.
VWAP bounce from the SPY, or are we going to get a VWAP fade?
Right. Look at AMD though, man.
Right here at 32s, 33 off of 39. But I'm going to look for MU to touch that resistance, 84, 84, and kind of reject hard. There you go. It didn't get above there. Let's see it attempt to that. I want to get as close to that risk measure as I can, as I've been seeing the stocks bounce. I think we'll get one more push as the SPY makes its way to the VWAP.
Kind of looking at ACB here. It dropped right before I got in it.
MBEV going to get up there also. That one's not too bad.
Yeah. It's just
Maybe 518, risk off of 525 or something like that. There's that push to the 84 that I was talking about for MU. This is what I wanted to see with the VWAP fade of the SPY. The SPY broke through the VWAP. That's what I didn't want to see. If the SPY kind of VWAP fade immediately there, I wanted to tackle this MU.
Right. I was getting ready for ACB too, or some of these other ones. But if the SPY continues here, breaks the high, a lot of these are going to start squeezing up and just faking fades out. And I don't want to get caught in a bunch of fake outs. Like, look at AMD. That was probably the biggest fake out. And that's what you get when a stock fakes out the fade. It usually turns into a washout long. And I mean, you can trade that as well, but it's just about whether you want to or not. Let's see what the market does here. No, we're not in any trades right now.
No, we're being patient.
We're watching the SPY. Yeah, we're watching the SPY right now. The SPY, like if you look at the SPY, we're watching the overall market. Like, you know, as short traders, when we're looking to trade some fades, if the SPY itself fakes out a fade, I don't want to trade a fade, you know. And so we're just looking to see what it does because I'm not trying to get caught in a big fake out with the market doing.
The SPY retrace from here, not get to those 249s, 249.81.
Right. We don't want to see the SPY break the high of the day. Excuse me. Choking on my coffee. Yeah, we don't want to see the SPY break the high of the day. I mean, I do. Like, honestly, I do want to see the SPY break the high of the day. That would be great for the overall market. I'm rooting for the economy and the overall market to rebound here. But as short traders,
the squeeze on MU. Look for that squeeze in the SPY to come following.
And Kron still looks interesting. And I think, you know,
what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to APHA. I see stocks rebounding strong. Look at APHA and watch the volume that's going to come into this. Remember, those 25s were an important level. Let's see what happens. It's already back above VWAP. Let's see if it can get above these 30s, get in the 40s, push to the 50.
Yeah, no, I mean, John,
RIN looks interesting to me.
which one?
MRIN there. It's a pattern breakdown. We'd have to short at $7 here. We need a bounce, and then you can get that crash. I think I might be a second late.
Yeah.
Yep, second late.
Yeah, just be careful, guys, trying to trade fades today. Even though these are coming back to the VWAP, you got to look at the overall SPY right now, and you can see the SPY. The SPY itself faked a fade, was a fake out with a fade. And so with that...
Oh, look at MRIN. I'm seeing it get hit on the time and sales. 6,000 shares there at 670.
WATT pushing.
Let's see if I can get a bounce.
UXIN kind of faded. Kind of.
Yeah. There it goes. There's the SPY through that level.
What did Mihail say?
Yeah, UXIN was the stock to watch, I think.
Mihail says in...
Beautifully.
Yeah, I saw UXIN too. Beautiful fade. But Mihail said in 15 minutes, big economic news. SPY will show the direction after that. What do you mean by that? All right, there's the SPY breaking the high of the day. And watch, you'll see a lot of these stocks that kind of looked good for fades probably start to fake people out and just squeeze up. That's kind of what we did not want to see is mostly short bias traders, but there'll be other opportunities. It's just about letting these stocks kind of follow through. Kron is looking better, I think. I think I like Kron a little bit more than other ones for a fade, just because how it's acting right here. It's still kind of holding the VWAP. It's still got a tight risk reward. It just depends on what the SPY does here, because I'm not going to, with the SPY rebounding like this, which is great for the economy, I'm not going to try to, I'm not going to get faked out.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into MRIN also. It looks good there for a kind of a pattern breakdown, but it's one of those trades that is not really following the strategy. And then a day like today where we're seeing moves kind of change, this is when you can get faked out a lot. Kind of stick to what your strategy is. And if it's not present today, if I have to not trade again, then I'll not trade again. That's fine.
Right. That's the best
Gotta save the capital.
Yeah, the SPY's running up, looks strong. And so if you really want to trade, I mean, short trades, you can look at TVIX, TVIX. You should be able to look at UVXY, which go the opposite way of the SPY. They're inverse ETFs, and essentially trade the opposing side of it if you really wanted to short. Yeah, we'll see what we get here. I mean, it's good that the market's doing this, but APHA coming back down. Look at NIO. NIO going against the SPY.
There you go. At least something.
Yeah.
All right, for NIO, I want to see it come back around, get back above that VWAP.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Kron here with a 45 risk. Or no, my risk is a little bit too high now. Let me see if I can find a better risk. I think 40 is a tight risk for Kron.
I think this is one of those days I just got to be patient. If a trade appears later on, it'll appear. I'm not going to push.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not going to force it either today. Like I said, there's a few I'm still watching. But I'm keeping an eye on the SPY, and I want to see what it does here. Kron.
Maybe UXIN if it gets up to 595 here.
ACB would have worked out. I was watching ACB originally. It would have worked out, but... Yeah, Kron. Like I said, Kron followed through really nicely for the fade. That was what the one I was watching. It looked to be the most reasonable if I was still going to trade the fade with Kron, but it's kind of how it goes. The SPY rebounding like it did kind of scared me, but it ended up reversing. And I can't get upset for protecting my account when I think I should have.
Oh, big sizing in UXIN. Had to cancel my order there.
UXI is an ETF, right?
No,
It's not.
no, it's a stock that had news with China.
Oh, look at Kron, man. There it goes.
Hey, it's
There
what
goes
happens,
my baby.
but
Yeah,
see
no,
the risk to
stressed.
reward. You either got to accept it or not. If you
Yep.
don't accept it, let it go.
No stress. Yeah, JPS doesn't look bad.
I mean, what happened was the SPY came right back down.
Right, that's what it was. The SPY actually faked people out on both ways. You know,
I
like
mean, it
that's
just
what.
did a resistance try. It's what we call a lot of times stocks have a tendency of doing this washout. Then they bounce up all the way to the top resistance and then wash out all the way right back down.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to see now is if kind of they're going to hold that bottom pre-market value. When you saw the open, that like for me, 32s is going to be an important price point here on MU. I'm going to watch it. If 32s are just going to get smacked down. For AMD,
Man, AMD took off though.
yep, I would look to see that 1779 can hold, or if we're going to make a move right back down to 57s.
SPY completely. It looks like the SPY is going to be a little choppy today, guys. So just be careful.
Looks like a chop fest.
Yep.
If you guys want a choppy chop, I don't think it's going to be in the market today.
Yeah, VT. Let's look it up. Yeah, but I'm kind of bummed out. Like the two cannabis stocks I was watching, ACB and CRON, were the two that followed through with the fade. But
Oh, there you go. I knew there'd be one that we'd miss out. But
VT.
we can't trade it.
Yeah.
ABIL. Look at that one.
Fade.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
She is.
That nice reject. Let's see that ADIL. Too low volume.
Yeah. Chopper style. Chop City. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a rebound on Kron with. I mean, a lot of these are following the overall market. If you look at these, market rebounding. We'll see if the market pulls a rejection here.
That's a gap up and crap if I've ever seen one.
Which ABIL?
No, IMMU. It just goes up. It opens at 9:30 and straight up died.
Yeah,
Like someone
died.
snapped.
I mean, that's what you get though. Whenever you have these very low volume gap ups, people always ask me like, what do you do with these low volume gap ups where it doesn't move at all, but it gaps up? I always tell them like, usually the spread's bad, and usually it kind of just comes back down. All right, SPY rebounding again. Watching this 83 level, 49.83 or so, 49.80.
Stocks have to get below that important level that I just talked about for me to even look at them on the short side. So for me, MU needs to get below 32 now. If it's above that, I'm still not even watch it. Get to a level where you can know what you want to see. And if it's not what you want to see to match your pattern on your strategy, if it's not that, then just let it go. It's not worth it. Definitely UXIN, probably the top trade for the last 2 days, and just not mastering that one. Got to try to take these, especially UXIN, the huge gap up, kept making moves up. And now if you look at the last 3 days, that's money potential. Those are the trades that we got to get to where we can tackle that. APHA cup and handle forming. Yeah, you can see it. Definitely, I could see it. Look for a breakout through 630s.
We'll see what the SPY gives us here. I mean, like I said, I think I'm watching that 81 level. But aside from that, it's a little choppy right now. You got to be careful.
Oh, GE. GE making moves.
Yeah, man, we're almost up. I'm gonna be excited when we get to 10K. We got to do something special for 10,000
Oh, look at
subscribers.
that MRN. Look at that.
MRIN.
Oh, that's what you call a pattern breakdown.
That was a
I
big
knew
breakdown
this
too.
one today. Just couldn't take it up there at 7 or 96. But man, that's a gainer right there.
What do you think of UXIN if it pulls back to the VWAP?
The problem is that it's one of those that
Down.
you should already have some profit in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the third resistance test. It doesn't seem bad. I mean, you could take it maybe in the 80s, 88s off of 6. You just got to be really careful with that 6 price point just in case it kind of gets that lift.
Yeah. I mean, it also has like that resistance at 609 or so. I think that's a reasonable area for risk. So if you get in, let's see what risk reward would be. You get in at 92, 609 is your risk. That's about a 16, 17 cent risk. Your reward level would be down from 92 to 60.
All right. There you go. We're getting back below. This is going to be very important here, guys. You see how the SPY is starting to kind of create that chop. Now we want to see if it's going to get above that first level that we were watching, above that 20, 24, 249 80s. So let's see if it can make a drive back up there and fail. All my stocks are getting kind of near that pressure point where I want to see them break down underneath 32 for MU. I'll start looking to try to tackle this stock. If it holds 32, then it's still holding, and I just got to let it go. Same thing for APHA. I feel like it's going to make a drive up here, probably in the 27s, 30 area. And then we're going to see if it's going to either break out or if it's going to curl back down and crash down.
There goes Watt too. Yeah, appreciate all the new subs. Lewis, Nam, Vip, Pablo. Welcome, guys. Appreciate the subs. Yeah, so we'll see what we get with some of these. WATT kind of pulled back some, gave some back. I'm curious to see what this one does if it breaks the low. What did OPK do? Sid, let's see it. Look at OPK, man. That one took off. Wow. OPK did take off there. But yeah, you'll see, like, if you look at the SPY and then you look at all the other stocks, they're all kind of doing what the SPY does. Everything's pretty choppy. You know, they always say 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market, and that's what you're kind of seeing today. With the SPY choppy like it is, you see a lot of these other stocks choppy, and so...
All right. Looking like we might get our move just later on in the day, so I'm waiting and being patient.
So. APHA cup and handle. Let's look at it.
I'm watching it. I don't think cup and handle anymore. I think it got broken down. You had the cup and handle until that kind of red candle that happened 3 minutes ago, where it came down to 610. It shouldn't have come down to 610. It should have held and kind of created that handle. Now you're getting more of a flag pattern and a flag pattern. And what I talked to John about this, we keep seeing these stocks do flag patterns that are in between the VWAP. Right. So you see the VWAP fade kind of essentially breaking the middle of the stock for the day. And so if you draw a trend line, you'll be able to draw a trend line from kind of that 926 green candle all the way across, and you'll see that 630s is the next resistance touch. We talked about this in our class last night, the rule of three. We'll be looking for that rule of three to start establishing on APHA, make that next run to resistance, hold, support, and then you guys that are long traders can look for your longs. I really do think this stock is making that kind of relative push towards the resistance. So let's see what happens here. See if it creates that third resistance, holds this 610 support, and breaks out.
Yep. Yeah, you see the SPY rebounding, so some of these might go along with it, including APHA, I think.
Oh, this is one of those days that I just felt like
nothing.
If I go and trade short today, I'm not listening to what the market's telling me.
Right. You can't will trades into existence. You gotta just take them if they're there, and you also like this is a good example of today, guys, where it's like everything kind of looked good for a fade as the market was spiking up some, but when you see the SPY break over the VWAP and continue pushing up, break the high of the day, you know that like even though if the stock faked out a fade, then a lot of these others, if the SPY faked out a fade, then a lot of these other stocks will probably fake it out as well, and that's what you see today with like NBEV, a lot of these. And so
here's that push in the SPY. We talked about that 24.79, 24 level. Let's see if it creates another high there and rejects back below VWAP. That will really start kind of turning the price and demand, the supply, kind of turning it back down to the short side. As we now create three resistance and you start kind of either having that breakout or breakdown point. That's what we're trying to get to, is being patient enough to get to that point. For Cron, I kind of like it. If it can bounce again up there into the, let's say the 35s or 36, then reject again down below VWAP, that's when I would go ahead and hammer on it.
Hey, that's a nice trade though, Sid. I like how I really think you're doing well, man, with the whole risk and reward concept. I know you've been using it in each trade, and it works, man. So I like what you're doing, man.
Stick to a system. Systems give you systematic results, and that's what we're looking for. Now I got this third resistance here for MU. Let's see if the support of 32 is going to hold for me, or is it going to break down through that support?
Big breakdown on the SPY.
Hey, what did I talk about? Where did it reject? Right up there, those levels. What did I want to see? It come right back through the VWAP, and guess what, guys? Supplies is twisting around there.
So we should see a lot of these drop.
Yep. Now you're going to start seeing – now you got to kind of really start taking your approach and becoming a trader again. A lot of times I talk about how we got to watch levels, watch the trade develop, then become a trader. Now we've watched those levels develop, fully develop patterns. Let's start getting into trading mode.
Yeah.
We can find here. I'm going to be looking for another test of resistance, kind of that fake out on the long side. And then once they start turning around, they start curling back, I'll be looking to go ahead and hammer down on some of these.
Bad numbers. From what Mihail said, bad numbers came out with those results that he talked about. All right, so let's look at some of these. CGC for a rejection looks okay. Tight risk of about the 93 or so. It's at 80s. ACB kind of has a symmetrical triangle right there.
Yep, you just gotta find which one most.
Yeah. I don't mind ACB.
Crash. MBEV looks interesting. That one, if it could bounce the VWAP here at 5/17.
WATT. Look at WATT go down here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a bounce in Cron also.
I might take ACB here with small share size with the risk of that 509 level. Maybe 507. It just depends. It depends on what the market does, but it doesn't look terrible. SPY rebounding some here. Look at WATT though, man. That one just gave it up. GE, man. That thing took off. Yeah, MBEV at 517 doesn't look terrible with a risk of like what, 22 or so, 23
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I was looking at also. Cron, I'm looking into the 32s, 33 range. Also can look at WPM for a VWAP reject, but that one's I'm not even sure that one's tradable anymore. Let me check.
Nice work, Samuel. Which one?
Yeah, it's still tradable.
Which one?
WPM
I remember that
would
one.
be more of a
Week
VWAP
after.
reject though.
Yeah.
Up there at 45s, and you could risk off of 1950. All right, this is where it's getting interesting here.
It's just what the SPY does here is what I'm curious about. ACB doesn't look terrible, but
It doesn't. It's just really tight. A
yeah,
5 cent for a 10 cent trade.
right. That's what I'm looking at.
All right, guys. I started an entry there on MU. Started my entry there at 31.98. Looking to increase size near that 31 kind of 10 level. Want to see these 32 break down. Get back below VWAP here.
All right, I am in ACB with 300 shares as well. Tight risk, 10-cent trade or so. Looking for the breakdown under 5 with the SPY confirmation. You can look at ACB here. I think it's a tight risk trade. That's the reason I'm mainly taking it. Look at WATT breakdown now, down to 640s. A lot of red showing up on the time and sales.
All right, looking better for me. Just crack down through 32s. Let's see if we can get the flush down.
I appreciate it, Samuel. Thanks, brother. Hey, man, that's what we do it for, man. We're glad to be here and help. You know, that's why we do it. All right, Cron breaking down. We should see some movement down on ACB here as well. It's just got to break under 5. But the SPY's moving down, Cron's moving down, other cannabis stocks are moving down, and so with that, we should get some movement down here for ACB. It just depends. We'll see how low the SPY can drop. There's 99s. First profit's going to be right around 494, so maybe 496. for ACB. We're getting some dropping on the SPY though. Same thing with the other cannabis plays. So
Right. Looking better.
SPY rebounding some. We may be getting a bounce here for some of these as well now. AMD. Yeah, AMD. We'll see if we get that breakdown here on AMD. It could be a VWAP bounce as well. Alright, there's the breakdown on the SPY. We should get some more follow through. There's 98s. Got a little bit more of a breakdown.
Yep, looking to add on the bounce here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff should start dropping now with the SPY dropping. It's testing these lows. It's just about whether the SPY actually breaks these lows now at 248.30 or so. It's at 248.40. So it's just about what it does here.
I'm in order to add at 3202s for MU. Original entry is 3198.
All right, there's the break under the low of the day for the SPY. It should really start getting hit here. It's either going to get hit or bounce. I mean, obviously it's kind of a binary way to look at it, but it's the truth. It could either bounce at this low and come back, or it could effectively confirm that downward trend and just keep pulling. A little bit of a bounce at that low, like I said, which was possible for sure. Spreads widening up a little bit for ACB.
All right, guys, putting out my order for my first profit, which is going to be 78s.
Which one are you in?
MU.
Okay. You trading the pattern breakdown?
Yeah.
What's up, Saul? Good morning, man. All right, here's the test of those lows again on the SPY. Let's see what it does here. It's battling this area now. Trying to test the 28.20s, 248.20s. Getting a little bit of a rebound there. Might get some rebounds now with some of the stocks we're holding. Yep, there's a rebound. We should get some here too. Just patiently waiting.
Yep, could have maybe taken there $20. Yeah, but it's not where the target is, so that's why I stayed in the trade, guys. I had $20 available there to me.
I just gotta mess with you a little bit, Todd. I don't know if you were meaning that to be sarcastic, but I had to mess with you a little bit. Alright, it's trying to drop some more. SPY's still kind of hanging out down there around the lows.
Yeah, it's hanging
I'm in
out.
short. I'm
A
short
little
in
too
ACB.
much.
Yeah, I'm short in ACB. About a 10-cent reward, 5-cent risk, 5-6 cent risk. That's what I'm holding now. All right, SPY bouncing.
Yep, don't want to get back above 32 for me.
With the SPY bouncing, ours should bounce as well, theoretically.
Just got to keep a close eye on that price point. 32s is what's going to get me out. Above 32s will get me out.
What's your risk? 32.
Yeah,
Where's your entry?
98s.
Have you taken profits yet?
Nah, it keeps getting to that 10-cent profit point, and I'm not taking profit because at least that's not what the chart's giving me. The chart tells me to take more, take that 80 move, that 20-cent move, and so it's that risk to reward kind of thing. I want to
Yeah.
hold to what levels.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, so if you want to learn what we're doing, so like we trade something called like a VWAP fade. All right, we get another down move on the SPY, so our stock should start
There you
dropping
go.
again. There you go. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're trading it off of the VWAP. Like most of the time, I'm looking for a pullback to that purple line, which is the VWAP. You probably know what it is, but and then that's where I'm getting in short, looking for a rejection off of that indicator. That's typically what I like to trade, going short. But now with the overall market, we're kind of using that to dictate the trades we're making right now.
All right. Don't like how that didn't go down there.
How that
I had
rebound?
all the pressure. Yeah, that had all the pressure to get down below it,
It's
at
still
least for my
testing.
stock.
It's gonna pick a direction soon. It's just chop city right now, so I'm just waiting for it to pick a direction. As long as it stays under the VWAP, I think we'll be all right. But just waiting for it to pick a direction. If it bounces up here, it's confirming that chop market. Yeah, it's just kind of a little choppy right now in the market. That's why I'm getting in trades that my risk is relatively limited, and so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just kind of looking at the SPY, kind of see what it's gonna do here. Once the SPY picks a direction, the stocks we're holding should start to move in that direction. Just about which direction the SPY heads. There we go.
There you go. All right. Not the
Another
complete
downwick.
wash. Yeah, not the complete washout that I wanted to see there. I'm paying myself 100 just to pull kind of the
Some risk
commissions
out
for
of
the
it.
trade. Yeah, risk is out.
Yeah, there's the rebound on the SPY.
I see that flush is supposed to happen, doesn't happen. I still got room for profit. I want to take something off there.
It's just about what the SPY does here. I mean, you can see most of these are following the SPY. The SPY is kind of sideways right now. It's got 3 down wicks, which is causing it to, which means buying pressure. So it's got a little bit of buying pressure in the SPY. But like I said, if it stays underneath the VWAP, I'm okay with it. It's just about
There you
whether it
go.
actually does that or not.
83s. 83s for me. So looking good for you.
Yeah, SPY kind of retrace some here. ABIL, let's look. That WPM trades right had a nice little rejection so far. ABIL ended up filling some of the gap down to 220, 218 or so.
All right, there you go. I got my breakdown.
Yeah.
I took second profits there. I'm up $28. Have 100 shares left at 31.98. I'm gonna let these work. Willing to add back my shares anywhere near that 31.98. I'm gonna look to tackle this down here. What we need to do to see confirmation is to see the VWAP fade on the SPY actually for Phil. Break down through these 24, 248 30s.
Yeah, I always get confused saying the name of the SPY. I'm so used to double digits or single
Yeah, it's
digits
kind of
that,
hard.
yeah, saying 24873, it's just tough.
Yep.
Yeah, so the SPY, it's getting some selling pressure right now. So Mitch is getting some selling pressure in his as well, so it's looking pretty good.
Yep. There's the 77s there for MU. I took profit there at 78 already. Could take some more here, but I'm letting it work, letting it come down to the lows.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a breakdown back in the SPY. It just needs to break under 248.50 and continue try to test that low of the day, so it can really pick a direction. Because at this point, it's still choppy.
Next low is 70. 70, I can take some more off.
Hey, appreciate it, Tommy. Tommy said, from a personal perspective, I really appreciate the dialogue you two offer each other and us. Thank you. You're welcome, man. That's why we do it, brother.
So it's exactly why we do it. If we couldn't help traders, I don't think me and John would do it.
Yeah, I mean, so Saul said, there we go. There's a little bit of a breakdown on ACB. Saul said, I was long on ABIL this morning, 1,045 profit, wanted to short it on the way down, but didn't know what to do, so I stayed out of it. I don't want to get into trouble. Yeah, man, shorting is all just looking for weakness, A lot of times, like, the VWAP is actually a trend indicator, so I use it to kind of determine the intraday trend. And so if the stock stays underneath the VWAP, it's in a bearish intraday trend. And so what I really do with the VWAP is I look for a pullback up to it, and then I look for that downward trend to confirm, that downward intraday trend to confirm. So a lot of times you'll see it like pull up to the VWAP, I'll jump in short there, and then it'll reject it back down off of the VWAP, really confirming that intraday trend. And like that's essentially what the VWAP fade is.
The next move. All right, guys. All right, guys.
SPY breaking
there.
down.
I got out of the trade there, right there. I'm looking for a bounce to get back in. The reason I took the trade off, guys, is that I'm expecting a bounce to come back in this. And if I leave 50 shares, it's not enough for me, guys. I need to get all the way down to 60s, 50s for it to be the same amount. Let's see if we can get a bounce here so that I can add my shares right back in, use that $55 I already made, and take a bigger swing.
Yeah, look at the SPY. SPY just cracked. That's what I was saying. It has to break under 248.50. You can see once the SPY did that, it really dropped all the way down to 248, and so it's looking a lot better. It needs to continue in this downward trend, especially with me in a stock like ACB, which has a smaller range. In order for me to get
Yeah,
any
you're in
decent
ACB.
Yeah, in order for me to get any decent money, it has to really continue in this downward trend and hold. So ACB has that time to drop because it's a smaller range stock.
Yeah, that's why I took profits there on MU. I just feel like it's way too extended, and that's more than enough profit for me. $55 for only a $30 risk to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Charts. Yeah, for sure. Good trade though, bitch.
Yeah, take that 2-1. There's no reason for me to get greedy there.
Right. Yeah, so somebody asked, is there a way to donate to you once I make money in the market? Yeah, man, if you click the money sign under the chat box, you can send me a super chat or, Nightbot should have other donation options. But yeah, man, it's totally up to you, brother, Don't feel the need to, Like, we get by, you know what I mean? If you want to, of course, but, don't feel no pressure to do it, man. I appreciate the thought, regardless.
I could use a drink, though,
All right, let's see if we get this breakdown. There's 295s.
Oh, Kron was the one, man. We got one more bounce right at 10 o'clock that went to 32. That was the one.
I'm going to take 120 off here. Just to bank some profits, make me a little bit more comfortable in the trade, and just kind of let the rest work.
It looks really bearish on every side. Like AMD. It's near to the VWAP.
My baby AMD.
Let your baby get back to 75 for me. Or 71.
There goes my baby. All right.
Oh, she looks like she wants to flush. Oh, yeah, she's flushing hard.
ACB's just done me right, man. She's done me right. Like in the past, ACB's done me right. Lately, she's been a little moody, but I think it's just the market.
A little tight. I think you might have stuck to your baby AMD. She looks like she's about to.
Yeah, man.
The pooper scoopers coming out on AMD.
All right, here's the break on the SPY, breaking down under 248. We should get some more dropping here.
There's the 60s that I could have held to. 10 cents more, 50 cents, 50 shares. I have to hold down to 50 for it to be profitable, kind of get a higher gain than I was, and might make that move here. Definitely super extended. Gonna look for a bounce. Let's see what happens.
See, we were just waiting for the SPY to pick a direction. Yeah, we were just waiting for the SPY to pick a direction, and that's what we got here. We get the SPY really ticking down for us here, which is what we wanted to see. That's the goal here is to just let the SPY work here.
$17.66. I would look to, if you were an AMD. Let me see the 5-minute chart. Look for cover near probably the 50s.
All right, I took another 80 shares off there. I have 100 left. I'm just really going to let these work, see if we can break under 590 or so. Or 490 or so. Get that breakdown. Goal would be 480 right now.
So saw pattern. Commissions rates are not going to change based on the stock itself. It's just going to be on the amount of share size. So 300 to 500, you're talking about for TradeNet, $6 in and out, or $12 in and out.
Yeah, look, we can calculate it real quick. So on Taps, the broker we're using, the commission fees are roughly 0.0075 per share, right? And so do that times, what is it? With 300 shares, it would be $225 per round trip, or $225 per trade, or $450 per round trip. And so pretty cheap commissions overall, and that's why we use them, And so maximum $450 a round trip with 300 shares, and so that's why we kind of do it. It's just cheap commissions. It's just cheap. That's why I like using TradeNet. And yeah, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, you can go through my link. I make a commission from it. What is that? Let me see.
All right, we'll look for stocks to rebound here.
No, we don't want to see a rebound. No, We don't want to see that. I mean, I've already scaled out of it enough to where I'm all right. Like it'll be break even if it gets up there, but I don't want to see
Maybe it's my FOMO.
it.
Tiva Teve. The Tiva Teve. Look at that downturn. Boom.
But yeah, if anybody is interested in using the broker that we're using, there's the link in the chat. Um, you do want to understand the pros and cons, okay? So I'm not one of those people that mindlessly defend any broker. Maybe I'm a little biased because I post links for them, but the pros of TradeNet are they give you decent buying power. The commissions are really cheap. The platform's decent, okay? But the cons, the biggest flaw in TradeNet is that a lot of penny stocks are not tradable, right? So if you like to strictly trade penny stocks, most of the time they're not available to trade. Like stocks under $5. Like with ACB, I can trade it and it's tradable, but most of the time stocks under $5 are not tradable. And so you do want to understand that, and each broker has their pros and cons, you know? And so it all just depends on what you're looking for. You know, if you're trying to trade strictly penny stocks, TradeNet's probably not the right broker for you. Or Tefs is actually the partnering broker with TradeNet. Tefs is probably isn't the broker for you. But if you're like me, who like to trade stocks in between like $5 and $20, and you like to short, anything that's tradable is shortable. And so just do your research is all I can really say. But I tend to enjoy using them. I've been using them for about a year now. 1 to 10. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you're going to find many stocks under $5 available to trade. And so it's just about whether that's worth it for you. The good thing is like if you like with the intro package, you get it's kind of like a prop firm. Like anything over any profit you make over the 14,000 they give you, there's a 70-30 profit split. So they keep 30%, you keep 70%.
VT breaking out. You long traders, if you guys aren't seeing many trades, you guys can check out this stock right now, VT.
But yeah, you actually get an extra few $100s to lose. Like you pay $500 for the intro package, and your max loss is $700, so you're getting an extra $200 to lose.
Oh Lord, yeah, that MRIN breakdown at $7. Pretty fine breakdown. This is why I got to back test the strategy more and just understand how to really take these when it could give us this potential. Kind of sad, just kind of lonely. I am so lonely.
Yeah, I made the joke yesterday when the stream ended, or when you left the stream. I was like, now I'm by my lonesome with 200 people watching me.
That's how it feels. I mean,
right.
When you trade by yourself, it's completely different.
All right, SPY trying to break down again here.
Yep. I think we'll get a little small time breakdown.
There it goes, under 247.50s. We should get some more breakdown here.
There you go. You got some good sizing in on that 93. 43,000 shares, 4,300, 1,200, 1,000 shares.
There we go.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah. And I think today was a good lesson on, like, I know Francis and one of our members asked a while back, like, how do we analyze the SPY in relation to like the VWAP fade and the VWAP bounce? And like this is exactly how we do it. Like you look at the overall SPY. If the SPY is running up, or if the SPY specifically faked out a fade, had look like a fade but faked it out and ran up, I'm not going to jump in a fade. But if the SPY picks a downward trend on the intraday time frame and then continues to just head down, then I'm going to be a lot more confident in the fade, and that's probably when I'll take it. And so I think it's a good lesson on analyzing the spot and see what it's doing before you really pick a direction. All right, Isaac. Have a good day, brother. Yeah, enjoy your weekend, man. I'm excited for Jones versus Gustafson. You know, I can't believe Mitch said GSP was his favorite fighter, man. I like GSP, but come on, he's not the GOAT. Let's be real here.
Bro, he is.
Dude, GSP, man, he got knocked out by Matt Serra, bro. Come on now.
Bro, did you see how long he held it though?
Yeah,
I mean, who else holds it down for an actual year?
all of them. Jones, Cormier.
Yeah, and then they get tested positive or fail a fight.
Jones did. Cormier, he's clean, brother.
He's just fat. He's just fat and good.
Yeah, I like Cormier.
He's one of those chunky boys you did not want to fight with.
Right, exactly, man. I don't want any with Cormier. DC. I don't know. I mean, this is, like I said yesterday, I like GSP and everything.
There you go. There's your 90s.
Yeah. I like GSP and everything, but I like GSP, but hey, appreciate it, Isaac. Thanks, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the $2 donation, brother.
I don't know. I think he fought in a different era, different time, different steroid uses.
Yeah, probably so. But no, like, this is what I don't like about GSP, right? Is that GSP, he retires. He waits for Bisping, who was, let's be honest, Bisping was straight up a paper champ. Like, let's be honest. If you're from the UK, I'm sorry. But Bisping was straight up a paper champ. And you know, and GSP retires, waits for Bisping to get the belt, jumps in, beats Bisping, who, like I said, was a paper champ, and then relinquishes the belt because he doesn't want any of Robert Whittaker. Like, that's exactly what happened. And everybody knows it's what happened. He was scared.
Blame the man?
No.
Can you, at that age?
Right. I don't want any of Robert Whittaker either, but I'm not claiming to be the GOAT either. You know what I mean?
I mean, he handled his business. The best comeback, I think, win ever. He was losing that fight all day.
GSP and Bisping, he was not losing that fight, man. GSP was beating him up, man.
He was rocked for a while.
He got rocked once, barely. And this is like I said, I like GSP, but let's be real here. I mean, he's scared of Robert Whittaker.
I mean,
look at the spy break down here.
Even 10 years ago, he wasn't afraid of anybody.
Yeah, look at the spy. Let's see if we get this crack under 530. The spy's breaking down like it should.
It's trying to get through that daily low.
Hey, appreciate all the new subs, DJ Anonymous, Dale. Appreciate it, guys.
It's just way too far. I don't think it's going to make too much of a drive here. I think it's kind of one of these full range moves.
Right, and what I don't like is like ACB bounces here. Like, how dare you bounce right here with the spy dropping so much? You know, the spy's dropping like a brick, man. And then
I mean, one of the things is, you know, you pick the stock with the tightest risk to reward.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it. You know, you got a slower moving stock.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you were in MU, you'd pretty much either be done with the trade or be really good in the green.
I mean,
so
MU,
kind of the range.
MU wasn't my style, though.
Yeah, I think Kron was a better pick for you.
Yeah.
Kron at that 32, that last bounce, the red candle
was really looking at it there too. That was right when the spy started to drop.
Yeah, I think that was the kind of the deciding factor right there. That was a good 20, 30 cent profit stock. And I think what really happens here is that you had essentially a 2-to-1 trade, you know, 5 cent risk, 10 cent profit.
I got my 2-to-1, you know.
Yeah, you got it already. So it's kind of like anything more from here is always what we talk about, kind of more than that home run or looking for the home run. We talk about that first support, second support. Those are the ones that we feel you can hit consistently in and out. And then the home run trades where it really breaks down and smacks down, that's not always going to happen. You know, can't expect it. All we can do is set ourselves up.
Yeah, I'll probably get out of this one if it breaks 94s or so. And then maybe add back to it if it gets back to 5, depending on what the spot does.
Yeah, I'm expecting, at least from my MU, I'm looking for a bounce back up there to 3190s.
Here's the bounce in the spy.
Yep. Bouncing. Trying to finish today and start up this little streaky streak going. Four
Yeah, man.
days now, you know.
You're doing well, brother.
Just trying to get into a good little streak and looking to increase size as I get back into the green here.
Yeah, I went 300 shares for ACB. It's just the range was small, so maybe I
Yeah, I
should have
went
analyzed it.
300 with MU.
Ooh,
Um,
look at Kron.
a little bit at 3210s, but it never got up there.
Look at Kron.
Kron made that lift off.
Yeah,
What I call it,
it's
the
right
lift off.
there. Let's see what the risk would reasonably be at probably 1030, maybe.
I would
What's a
say
reasonable risk?
1030s would be the one that you would look at.
Yeah,
Definitely that 1030 range looks
about two
good.
to
The
one.
problem is that what's the profit? It's right back down to 1008.
Nah, I think 1002 for that low. 1005 maybe. So it's about 1.5 to one, maybe 2 to 1 if you gave it 1005.
Not really, not really liking it more in the 5 minute. 5 minute has it bouncing up there to 26, 25, and then fading.
Yeah. Plus you get the spot rebounding here.
Yeah, not what I want to see. Hey, Jono, no stress, man. Don't think of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Just realize that the execution you took is the execution you took. Start establishing what you want to do on your ads, and you're kind of sizing out, and that's how you best approach it. Is having a specific kind of variable to that, not should I add here? Maybe I add here. No, you need to get it to a mechanical entry to where if you get out there, you add there, you get out there. And that's how your trading needs to be so that you can get those systematic results and not have the emotions of thinking through trades versus actually executing them.
Yep. Exactly. I always talk about like you want to make sure that your levels are very precise. Like right, like with you want to know the strategy well enough to have really precise levels. Like with my type of trades, it's like VWAP, low of the day, previous low of the day is reward target. If I'm gonna add back to it, it has to get right back up to the VWAP specifically, and just make them pretty precise so you can you know really make the trade easy on yourself. It's kind of like an instruction manual. You just follow the plan you gave yourself prior. Nice,
Nice.
ran deep.
Nice rejection too from the
Yep.
SPY.
Yep.
Holding that kind of like 248.07. It's really gonna be the price I would watch.
Yeah.
See on
ACB's
the
back down to
15.
490s, 492.
Yeah, there's a resistance there, 247. What's a support from a 15-minute chart
On what?
on the SPY? The 15-minute, it really if it can get down below 247.13, if it can get turned back down below that, it can really get some drive. It's interesting today.
Yep. There's 590s or 490s. Let's see if we get this break here for ACB. It all depends on what the SPY does right here, really.
Man, those bag holders got caught nasty today in APHA. I'm pretty sure you're not going to hear about it, but I know there's someone that lost big at the open there. Saw way too much sizing go in right before the bell, and the bell came and they got slammed. Good pressure right here on the downside on both ACB and APHA.
Right. Let's get that break under 490. breaks under 490, that area should turn into resistance, and so that's what I want to see is a nice break with volume under 490, preferably with the SPY dropping as well, as kind of confirmation in the market trend down. And so we'll see. NBEV kind of back up to the VWAP here.
Hey.
It's up there.
You got a lot of look at that.
There it goes, man. I'm telling you, it popped up there. That thing dropped quick.
Got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, man, that was a quick one. I don't know if I would have taken that one no matter what.
Got to be quicker than that.
Geico commercial.
Oh, I love it. I love what Jay Hopper just brought into the chat. Don't rate yourself on profit. Realize is nothing, guys. What you really need to kind of focus on is how Hopper puts in here. It's how well you followed your plan, not the profit. Congratulate yourself. Give yourself pats on the back when you do follow the plan. Now, when you don't follow the plan, that's when you need to hold yourself accountable. Understand that what you're doing is essentially killing yourself as a trader. And you don't want to do that as a trader because what you're going to do is you're going to kill your risk to reward. You're not going to trade systematically, and your results will not be consistent.
Yep.
Really seeing a kind of a push up here.
Yep.
Cron back above the VWAP, 1025s.
Like I said, my level is pretty easy in this trade at this point. If it breaks over 94 or so, if it gets up to 95, I'll probably get out. Like if you extend this to the left, it has support 94, support here at 94, support here at 94. And so if it breaks over that, that's my cue to jump out.
Yep. I'm pretty much I'm done for the day, guys. I'm just going to hang out with you guys for a little bit longer. But I'm done for the day, locking up my order forms, making that commitment to myself that it's been a great week, full green week, no red days. And I'm going to go ahead and enjoy that, kind of take a win. Yeah. Sometimes it's great to take your wins, get that confidence, especially when – you're trying to kind of size up and start taking swings. When it starts going well for you, instead of just taking another swing and it just going completely wrong for you, then your emotions just get killed. Understand you're trading well, you're executing well, you've made your profit for the day. Go ahead, celebrate, enjoy your kind of your win, your small win, even if it's only a small win, and you can go ahead and just come on, there'll be another day.
Yep.
There'll be another trading day. And that's the thing about being a day trader. If you're expecting to do this for the rest of your life, or at least for the time being, expect not to trade every single day. You can't have that mentality that I need to make money every single day, because it's only going to drive you to make the wrong trade and pull away those profits.
Yep. All right, here's where I got to be really careful with ACB. If it pushes up here, I'll probably jump out. SPY's bouncing. And all right, I'm out. All right, so $15 gain, I'll take it. It got up to $4.95. That's my exit. Small baby win, but I'll take it. Green is green. Like I said, been kind of a break even.
Have a good one, Mr. Charts.
Later, brother. Now, if it gets up to $4.99 and the SPY looks weak again, I'll consider adding back to it with that same risk I had before at about 505, 506, 507 actually. And so that's not bad. Let's see, risk if from $5 to 507, 7 cents. From $5 down to $4.90, about 10 cents. So not the best risk reward, about 1.3 to 1. reward to risk ratio. So it's all right.
All
I think
right.
uh, I think Kron looks a little bit more interesting in NBEV.
Yeah, I think it's going to come in the point in time where you're going to see kind of those rebounds back to VWAP. You want to see a stock kind of reject on the long way up again, not giving it that chance to get back up and rejecting right back down. This is what we got in Cron. We're going to see if it gets up to the VWAP and the SPY and rejects. MU getting up there, kind of to that price where I was thinking about getting back in, 31.90s.
Yeah, there goes Kron washing out. But yeah, if anybody wants to sign up to TradeNet, the broker I use, I'll post the link one more time. I make a commission from it. One of the ways we keep this stream always free. Really with this stream, guys, we're giving people what other people charge lots of money for, and we're doing it all for free. And so, we don't try to be experts or gurus. We just try to share the knowledge we have, with the market. And so, hope you guys can appreciate it. If you want to help support the channel, click the like button right now on this video. It's one of the ways we help keep the channel and the stream free. And so click the like button if you want to help support us. And we definitely appreciate any support we can get. So if you appreciate the content, like I said, hit that like button. Also, if it's your first time joining us, we do this every weekday morning. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning. And so hit that subscribe button if you want to watch us again.
John, you can look at this stock. I was looking at WPM. Looked interesting there in the 45s. I wanted to see one more bounce up and fail, but it's kind of interesting there.
I don't like this one as much. The volume's just too low.
Yeah. For me. Yeah, it's a little slow. I just see like the daily chart. It's kind of been stuck in a kind of range there. I know if it can break down through that range, you can really get a shadow.
Yeah, somebody's asking, how do I feel about managing TradeNet's 5K year profit requirement? I don't really think it's a big deal. The reason why I don't think it's a big deal is because, if you're trading on TradeNet and you go a year, it's kind of one of those things, right, where it's like most people are going to lose their account on TradeNet just because most traders lose, right? And so if you're a profitable trader and haven't reached 5K in a year, it just doesn't seem like that big of a deal for me. I'll worry about that when the time comes. But at this point, I'm just worried about getting consistent profits. I think that's the goal. It's just showing consistent profits, as should it be with any trader. And so that's what I'm working on now. But yeah, you have a whole year to do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, It's all subjective, though. ATHA again.
Yeah, it's one of those things that remember, guys, as traders, you want to take steps in your evolution. It's not always just about profits. Sometimes it's best to learn how to trade, and then you worry about the profits coming. If you're making great trades in and out for a whole year, the profits will come. The gains will be there, guys. But what you really need to realize, it's not so much about you focused on the gains, but on your execution of your strategy. If you're going to be able to really execute your strategy day in, day out, like John says all the time, rinse, wash, repeat. That's really what's going to get you to that profit that you want. And then the 5K will be there, At the end of the day, what we're looking for is a systematic approach. And that's what we teach in our class, is to take that systematic approach and to learn that trading is not so much a pattern and much more about risk management and how you approach the trade versus actually trade it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you could withdraw before 5K. Like I said, Casey put his request in for I think $500 on the 10th of December, received his payout on the 9th, and so in 9 days, so pretty quick.
Yeah, I think you had to put out the withdrawal request before the 10th of the beginning of the month, and then they pay you
once a month.
Yeah, and then they pay you out after the 15th or something like that. It's around there.
Right.
And so he got paid on the 19th, putting it in on the last day of the request. So that doesn't seem bad at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, I've never, like, we had the guy in here that's like, 5 of my friends requested a payout and none of them received it. And I think it was pretty obvious, like, that guy was just lying. Like, first of all, like, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but to have 5 friends that are all profitable, like, seems pretty, that doesn't seem realistic. And then he tried to say, well, no, I'm a pro trader. And it's like, you're a pro trader, but you're using TradeNet. Like, really? Like, come on. Like, TradeNet's meant for, like, new traders. And so there was just some big red flags with what he's saying. But, like, do the research yourself. Like, it's all one of those things where it's like, I don't mindlessly defend any broker. Like, you guys hear me always talk about the flaws of TradeNet, which the biggest pet peeve is that penny stocks aren't tradable. Like, that's the biggest flaw I see with using TradeNet. But ultimately, it's not a big deal for me. Obviously, we find stocks to trade every day. And so it just depends on what you're looking for. Every trader's different, needs different things in their broker. And so if TradeNet has the things you're looking for, use them.
Man, that MU, that'll get you some FOMO right there.
Don't remind me, man.
Look at MU. That looks pretty right there. It just went right up, right back down.
Right. I mean, I could see some fades here. Like, I'm watching NBEV with the market pulling back because the market is actually fading right now. Like, it had a nice little VWAP fade, pulled right back up there, came back down. So.
But all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here.
Yeah, shout out to Trade Ideas for being cool enough to let me stream their scans every day. If you don't know what Trade Ideas are, these scanners are all from Trade Ideas. Really cool scanners, make my morning much, much easier. And so shout out to them. They're nice enough to let me stream their scans every day. I'll post that link as well. If anybody wants to get the scanners that I'm using, you can check out Trade Ideas. And I just posted that link as well. So, yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all. Everybody have a good long weekend. We'll see you back Tuesday. Hopefully we get some good volume Tuesday. Today wasn't a bad day, And one thing I'm noticing is that, like, when I see the market, when the market looks good in pre-market for me, I typically have a better day than if I don't like the volume in pre-market. It's kind of a worse day for me. So we'll see what we can get. I'm still looking at some of these to see if they pull back to the VWAP enough to get a worthwhile entry. I think Cron was a good fade off of that 1030 risk that we gave it.
We'll see what happens. Not bad. $55 gain today. Don't know if you have my screen up or anything.
Here, I can pull you up. Yeah. Hold on.
People could see it. We like to show our total P&L every day so that way you guys can see what we're doing.
Yep, good work today, brother.
Oh, let's keep working. Hey, the marijuana stocks, they're red for the day, but in my eyes, they're always green.
Yep. For sure.
I
like it, man.
All right, guys. You guys take it easy. Keep working hard. Remember the process.
We'll see you all Tuesday. Appreciate the sub. All new subs. Hey, appreciate it, Recoil. And as well, Randeep. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you all a little bit later. Nice job, Matthew, as well. Good work. Later, guys.